Welcome to the Mami Collective. I'm Paulina Rowe, radio host, TV contributor, writer, and mom of one. This is where ambitious moms come to keep their identity intact while navigating motherhood. Here we talk about the real stuff: career, money, relationships, identity, and everything that gets messy in between. You won't find sugarcoating or cliches. What you will find are unfiltered conversations, real resources, and proof that you don't have to lose yourself to be a good mom. The Mami Collective is here to remind you can be ambitious, you can take up space, and you can thrive in motherhood and in everything else that makes you, you. Before we get into the episode, make sure you're following the Mami Collective on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, and share this podcast with a mommy in your life who needs a little inspiration or just a reminder that she's killing it. Also, don't forget to sign up for our newsletter and leave us a review so we can keep showing up and reach every ambitious mom out there doing big things. Let's get into it. So, Mami Collective, we are back with another episode. Today on the show, I have my name twin, the same name as me, which never happens, so I love it. So I have Paulina Bachleda-Kubanska. Did I say it right?
Yes, you did.
I love it. Look at me. I love it. Well, thank you for being here with us today. We appreciate you. I love your hair, too. What color is that?
It's like magenta.
Magenta?
Yeah, kind of.
So cute.
I
love it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being here. So you're my best friend's cousin's wife, and he just talks so highly about you, and I just learned about you, and I'm like, I have to have her on the show. I have to definitely talk to you. But I am curious too, by any chance, what's your zodiac sign? I wonder if we're the same.
Taurus. It's actually my birthday today.
You're doing this on your birthday? Happy birthday. Oh my God. Well, Taurus Queen. Interesting. Okay. Do you happen to know, well, happy birthday, first of all, but do you know what is it called? It's like have you done those tests that tell you what your type is?
Type A?
Well, that too, but there's a bunch of different astrological tests, right? And there was one that tells you if you're a manifesting generator, if you're a manifester, I'm going to send you this book.
Yeah, send it to me, yeah.
Okay, so it's this online thing, and I'm a manifesting generator, so I'm wondering if you are too. And the reason I say that is because in life, or at least in this life, we're meant to wear a bunch of different hats and do a bunch of different things. And I don't know if you're like this, we get bored a little easily. So I think that's why we have to keep doing different things. So when I got introduced to you and I got to learn about you from Jonathan, I was like, I have to talk to her because you're like me. So I'm going to send you this book or this little online thing.
Send it to me, 100%.
I want you to take the test and tell me if you are the same one as me. Because when I learned about you, like I said, I just thought it was very similar to me. You're a woman that wears many hats. You're a mom to a 3-year-old girl, which is so chic, by the way. I love when parents are one and done and it's a girl. It's the most chic thing I've ever seen.
I agree. I agree 100%.
I love it. So, Paulina, do me a favor and tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you have multiple businesses. I know you're a woman that wears many hats. Give us a little bit of a background about yourself.
Well, I came here to the States when I was 16 years old, and kind of like you said, I do get bored easily, so I never hit my goal, because once I get close to that goal, I just raise the bar. So then I do more and more and more. I started with being a mortgage processor. After high school, I didn't go to college for a little bit because I wasn't sure what I want to do. Then I changed jobs, became an assistant to a tax preparer. I fell in love with that. But then the real estate was still in the back of my mind. I do love real estate. So basically, after a while, I opened a business for tax income preparation. Then I got my real estate license. And about 2 years ago, I got my loan officer license for mortgages.
Nice.
So it's a one-stop shop with everything because people trust me. And at least I don't get bored, right?
No, you never will. Oh, I love it. And then I also was told that I don't know if you still run it, but there was a cleaning business as well that you...
Oh, yeah. So I do have a cleaning business. When I took a break from one job to another, I actually went to clean houses. Because I said, I'm done with office work for now. I want to do something else. I went to clean houses. I cleaned for 2 ladies, 2 different companies. And then I told them that anytime in the future, if they want to sell it, to reach out to me. And I purchased it from her, got more clients. About a year ago, another one did. The other one did. I purchased it from her. So I do the cleaning business and everything else as well. I keep forgetting about the cleaning business for some reason.
You have so much going on. I completely get that. So, okay, I love it. I love that you also said that you made yourself like a one-stop shop. I almost feel like that expands someone's brand or business. So, is that something that like you would recommend for somebody who is looking to expand within their business? Like whether it's what you do or like, like hair, nails, like I feel like people have to grow.
They have to grow, and I think this is the best way of doing it, where you expand to other services. Not necessarily you have to do it yourself. You can hire people for that. But as a client, what I notice with my clients, they do trust me with the income taxes, right? And sometimes I would tell them, like, listen, if you're buying a house, make sure you do this instead of that, which by no means that I have a client and I know that they're looking for a house and they have a real estate agent. I will never be like, come to me. I will just educate them so the real estate agent can find them something that they like, right? And then on the mortgage side, same thing. I either educate them and they go with someone they know, or they come to me. So it's like a win-win situation because I'm not here. I always say, if you look at someone else who does the same thing as you as a competition, you're in the wrong business because we all learn from each other. So for me to help the client and make somebody's life easier, that's what I'm here for. And that's why people trust me.
100%.
Yeah.
What do you feel like got people to trust you, right? Because you've said that, you say that like, well, people are coming to me because like I've formed that trust, which I feel like every business owner wants with their clients, right? Of course, that relationship, that trust, they want to build on it. How do you feel like you were able to do that successfully?
It will sound weird, but I don't do it for money. And I'm very honest. And by honest, I don't mean that I'll just tell you everything, When, for example, I go with my clients to look at houses, I will actually push them away from a house. Because if I feel like maybe there's too much work that has to be done and you're not in a position where you can do it. Maybe let's go look for something else. Even if I have to show you 20 houses, I don't mind. That's my job. So they know I'm not going there just to sell it. I want them to be happy. So yeah. I never go. I always say, don't do it for money. Do it because you love what you do. And then the money will follow.
I always say that. Yes. And that I read this thing once, because I work in radio too. And this one radio personality in his book, he wrote like, don't always attach an opportunity to a paycheck. Like you said, the money will come, like it will. But if you see an opportunity sometimes, and maybe there's no paycheck attached to it, right? And that's what I'm thinking when you say that too, like the money will follow. Sometimes things like that have to happen, right? To fall into place. So I agree. So were you introduced to entrepreneurship at a young age, or is that something that you are like the first in your family to do?
My dad used to own a construction business in Poland, and I was basically raised by my dad because my mom was here. So I was kind of raised by a man who owned a business, and I look at things differently than most people do, right? And then, for example, my mom, when she found out when we came here, and then she found out that I'm trying to open a business, first thing she said, she goes, what if it doesn't work out, right? And then my dad goes, but what if it does? So that's it was actually because of my dad that I am how I am. And I really appreciate it. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. But I mean, this is something that I'm doing because he taught me how to do it.
I love that he did.
Yeah.
A lot of times I feel, especially if you're not from here, our parents, for the most part, kind of resonate what your mom says. Like,
yeah, they're just afraid. That's where it is. They're afraid of
100%
risks. Yeah.
100%. And like, as a mom now, do I understand? Like, yeah, I'm not going to lie. I do. But I always feel like, well, without risk, there's no reward. So,
exactly.
Things, if they don't work out, I always feel like then there's the next thing. Like, it doesn't really stop there. That's my opinion.
And you know what? I always also feel like if the business doesn't work out, the worst case scenario, I'll just go work for somebody, right? But I did try. So that's how I
100%. So then you mentioned that your mom was already here in the United States. So when you kind of came over with your dad, what was that transition like for you?
When I came here, I was in my teens. I didn't speak any English. I actually spoke German. Great idea for my parents to sign me up for German classes if they knew we're coming here. But I mean, it is privilege.
Right.
So, it's a good transition. I'm not going to lie. I mean, my mom left when I was 5 years old. She came back a few times, but she was always basically on the road. I never built that relationship with her that daughters and moms should have. But it's not her fault. It's not my fault. We were just not basically raised together, right? Like a mom and a daughter should be. So that was a little bit harsh. But other than that, I mean, you get used to it, right? I mean, in the beginning, it's hard. I was watching TV with no sound on because I couldn't understand anything. I was taking ESL classes for a year. That didn't help me at all. I asked my mom to actually sign me up for English speaking classes only, which was, she was afraid. And I'm like, this is the only way I can learn, right? Because me being Polish and I had a Polish teacher, even if the teacher would speak Polish to me, I'll be like, oh, she understands me anyway if I say something in Polish. So, when you're a teenager, you think like that. So then she signed me up for English speaking classes, and I had this lady. Oh my God, she was roasting me so bad. She made me read. She made me speak. I hated her. But at the end of the year, I went to her and I thanked her because that 1 year made such a big difference for me. And she told me she made sure that by the end of the year, I'll know how to speak English and understand it. So I'm so grateful. Yeah.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
that's such a cool story. I didn't know any of that. Wow. Where do you think your resilience came from? I know, like, if I was to move to Indiana tomorrow, like I'd have a hard time transitioning. So I can't even imagine, like, my mom came here, you came here, Where does your resilience come from?
You know what? Because I honestly think even though I had my dad, obviously he still had to work. So I kind of raised myself. So anything that I needed, I knew I have him as a backup just in case if worse comes to worse. But he also built in this pride in me where you got to do what you got to do. You're not going to just sit around and whine and complain. It will not change anything. He would always say, if there's an issue, don't stress about it. If you can fix it, don't stress about it because you will fix it. If you cannot fix it, don't stress about it because it will not change anything. So I think that's where I learned it from.
Yeah, no, that's 100% valid. I can see that. But like I said, like you came, you were able to like learn, you had the willingness to do that as well. And then do you feel like when you were at that age, right, let's say 16, 17, so you're like fairly new still here, did you feel like your life path was going to go a certain way as far as like, I'm going to study whatever, biology and be a doctor? Like, did you have a certain vision or was it something that you weren't clear on?
No, I was so all over the place. I did not know what I want, but I also think it was because I came here and didn't really have any like guidance to what to do. My mom would push me to become a nurse, but one thing that I knew, I would not be a good nurse. I mean, I hate blood. I hate things like that. I take care of people other ways. Like now I have also a foundation that I did for my nephew and we raise money. So I'm good with that. I'm good with my mouth. I'm good with my brain, not being a nurse. So I knew that from the start that I'm not going to be one. Other than that, I tried so many things throughout my life. And then I found what I actually like doing.
Yeah, which is incredible. And I love that. Oh, like I said, a woman who wears many hats. So with your businesses, right, and with growing, what do you find were like some of the challenges that you personally had to face? Like when you kind of were starting off and you were building clientele, right? And like I said, building that trust, what were some of the challenges that you went through?
Saying yes to everything. And I think a lot of business owners do it because they think they need to say yes to everything and everyone. Right. Be available 24/7. And there was a challenge. It took me good, I would say 7 years to realize that if I don't take care of myself, I will not be able to take care of others. And I think this is the main thing that a lot of, especially women, because we like to nurture everyone, right? We like to say yes. We like to take care of everyone. And this is something that you have to learn. I started saying, I'm a good person. I don't have to be nice always. Which
I love that.
Makes sense.
100%. Well, yeah, because I feel like you said, like as women, we're almost conditioned to be nice, right? Or be this or that. And now, and I think you might agree, like having a daughter, I look back at it and I'm like, we don't have to say yes. And it doesn't make you mean or a bad person by any means. And I wish I knew that younger. I think about that all the time.
So do I. And you know what? It's a good point that you made now, especially with having a daughter or having a child, right? I think a lot of people ask me, how did it change you? And I basically say I became not meaner, but now I'm more selfish with my time. Because instead of just sitting in the office waiting for someone who does not appreciate me, I'd rather go home to my daughter, right? I'd rather do something else with her. I take her to work, I take her places, and it makes you more selfish. In a good way, though. It's in a good way, because then you also learn how to take care of other people when you're good, right?
Yes, 100% agree. I feel like ever since having my daughter, I say I'm not the same person, but like not in a cocky, crazy way, but I just mean like I am more selfish with my time. Like you said, like I'm not going to just say yes because I need to say yes, right? Or if I know it's like a waste of time or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Again, and like I feel like also you and I are at a different point of our careers, right? I understand like when you first start, the expectations are different, maybe the hustle's different. I get that part. I'm not discrediting that. And I know you said like at the beginning, I'm sure there was like it was a different Paulina, it was a different side of you. But I feel like also as you advance and grow your business, grow your brand, whatever it might be, you have to switch up or you will not continue to grow. You know what I mean? And like you said, having a kid now, I'm like, I would rather go home and watch Moana or whatever with my kid, you know?
Yeah, 100%. That's basically what happened here. That's basically what happened here. And then, you know what, I also feel like, because I'll make exceptions. It's not like we'll always say, no, no, no. If someone can only come on a Wednesday at 8 p.m., I'll make an exception. It's not a problem for me. I'm here. I love my job. So it's not like I'm going to a job that I drag, right? But at the same time, I now know when I can make an exception. And I also know if someone needs something, but they don't need it right away, they can actually work with me on the schedule as well.
Yes. Yes, that is so important. What about like mentorship or you know, people paving the way for you? Besides your dad, who you said like kind of taught you the ropes of entrepreneurship at a young age, who did you have as a mentor or someone that you looked up to kind of, right, as you were building your businesses? Was it like family? Was it like somebody in the industry?
So it was actually both. I actually was lucky enough to have great bosses that I used to work for. So I always would notice what they do, and they would kind of explain stuff to me and tell me for the future how everything should be done. But also what really changed my point on a lot of things and my view was actually my husband.
Ooh, interesting.
He taught me a lot. He told me that people are not, I don't want to say that people were using me, but he did tell me, take a break, do what you have to do, but also don't let people walk all over you. So he opened up my eyes a little bit on that. So yeah.
That's so interesting. I mean, I love that. I think one thing that I preach to people who do like want to be like in a committed partnership, right? Because like I'm married as well. And I always tell people like, you got to marry the right person because then they're going to really bring out these good things in you, you know? And obviously like he was able to help you like even think different in business, which I think is incredible. I love that.
Yeah, I'm so lucky with that. And I'm also lucky that he understands how I am and he actually accepts it because, to be honest, I don't think a lot of men would be able to be my husband because of all the businesses and everything else. I mean, with the cleaning service, I came home and I'm like, babe, we need a car. He's like, for what? I'm like, I kind of bought a cleaning service. And he's like, of course you did. Okay, what kind of car do you need? So he would always help me because he knows I wouldn't make stupid decisions, but I do make crazy decisions sometimes, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah. You're talking to the choir. Yeah. I opened up a spray tan business like 3 months ago, so I understand.
Oh, wow.
I know. If you ever need a spray tan, come see me. I'm not far from you guys.
Perfect.
Yeah. I know, right? I'm like, hey, I want to make my girls bronzed. It makes no sense, but I love doing it. I've done it before the baby, so I'm like, let's just open it back up.
Listen, so it makes sense. If you love doing it, it makes sense. That's
what I'm saying. Like, I know it's not like radio related, but I'm like, it's different, but I love doing it. So
it doesn't have to be. I mean, it's like with the cleaning service, income taxes, cleaning service, two different things, but it's actually a good thing too mentally for you, basically. That's how I see it.
I like that. I like that thinking. It's very true.
Yeah.
It like kind of balances my crazy little brain. No, I love it. So now I want to kind of go into like your motherhood journey. So you mentioned to me sort of off the air here before we recorded about that you have a 3-year-old daughter. And I was like, yeah, do you want more kids and stuff? And you were very much like, I wasn't sure if I wanted a child at first. And I can relate to that because I always said, like, in my life personally, I was like, if I have a kid, I would be so happy. If I didn't, I know I could also be happy. I don't mean that in a negative way by any means.
No.
I just meant like, whatever choice, right? Whatever God gives me, it's going to be for me. So going into that like phase in your life, right? Like becoming a mom, I know you mentioned that it's changed you in the best way. What were some of the things that you kind of like didn't expect when you became a mom? Was there anything like that kind of shocked you?
Yes, but I don't think it was in a way that some people would actually think it was. So I would have people tell me like, wait till you get pregnant. You won't have so much time to do your businesses. Or once I got pregnant, it was wait till you have a baby. You'll see that you cannot do everything while having a baby. So, that mentality, especially like the immigrant mentality coming from Poland where the wife was home with the kid and the husband was doing businesses or working. I kind of had it in the back of my head. So I was a little bit afraid. But then once I gave birth, and she was born March 18th, which is tax season. She was born on a Saturday, and believe me or not, came home on Monday, and I was doing taxes Tuesday, which I think that's another thing I'll tell you in a second. But what surprised me the most was having a child doesn't mean that you cannot do anything else with your life. It actually should push you to do more. And I think that's what happened to me where I had her. And I'm very, very blessed that I was able to take her places with me all the time. But I also found out that it doesn't mean that your life stops as a woman. You can still take care of yourself. You can still run businesses. I'm not saying you can have it all because obviously there's no balance. If you're at work, you're missing out on the baby. If you're at home with the baby, you're missing out on work, or sometimes to be on your phone when you have the baby next to you. By no means, there's no balance. Yeah, there's just not. No. But other than that, I thought it will be harder. Maybe I just got lucky with an easy kid, and it wasn't. So again, I think I was more prepared for the negatives, but that didn't happen. So that's what surprised me the most, right? So that's where it was, yeah.
Then I could write a book about this. I mean, that's why, full transparency, that's why I created this platform, because I wanted to remind moms that they can still have control over certain parts of their life, right? And that doesn't mean like, oh, I'm a mom, like I can't do this or that. And I love how you mentioned too, like taking care of yourself. Like that is important to me. Yes. Do I understand that not every mom can go to the gym 5 days a week? Of course, I'm not dumb. I always tell my mom, I get it. Like that's not possible. Like there are some moms that are going to do that and I love it. And there are some that are just not going to have the time or the mental capacity, but both are like, okay. The point is like, you have the permission to do so if you want, that's why.
Yeah. Exactly. Permission to take care of yourself, because if you're happy, the baby is happy, right? That's how I see that. And like you said, I mean, I used to go to the gym every single morning before having a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
After having her, I went a few times in the morning. I'm like, I just can't. With my schedule, with anything, I can't. But what I did do is sometimes in the morning, I'll still work out a little. And mind you, my child wakes up at 5:30. So it's not like I can drink coffee at 5 o'clock in the morning without nobody being next to me, because 5:05, she's like, hi. And I'm like, oh my God, where did you come from, right? So there's... I can't do all that, but at the same time, I can do those things with her, which actually makes me happy, because from the young age, she's learning that it's okay to take care of yourself. Yes. Even if you have a child, even if you have a husband and you have to clean and cook or whatever else, take a break and take care of yourself as well.
I agree. I immediately notice when I'm not like pouring into myself, whatever that might be. And I mean, I admit, like, sometimes I get snappy with her and I'm like, it's not her fault. And like, it happens. But then it's like a reminder of like, okay, like take care of yourself. Like, what am I, you know what I mean? Do I need to go for a walk, take the baby, like whatever it is? Like, I always say, like, do what works for you. Because I feel like becoming a mom, I don't know if you feel the same. I've just like, people want to tell you what you should be doing. You should stay home. You should go to work. You should, it's like, why don't we all just do what like works for us? Cause like we're different people. Like we are the Paulinas, right? Our brains work very different than like maybe Katie down the street. And that's okay. That doesn't make anybody worse or better. It just means that's what's working for us as moms, as parents, right? So I try my best to just tell moms, like, you know, everyone chill out. Like, you got this, just do what you got to do type thing. So no, I completely agree with that. Like, it's hard some days, and like you said, there's no balance, guys. There's no balance.
No, and if you look online on Instagram and you see all those pictures and videos that there's balance, it's a lie. There's no balance. You always miss out on something. Sometimes I want to struggle myself when I'm at work, and then I come home, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be so happy because I'm with my kid, and sometimes I just want to struggle myself at home as well.
Yep.
There's no balance, like you said.
No, like absolutely zero. I completely understand. No, I get that. So I hate this question, but I am curious with you specifically. But it's like, you know, how do you do everything in a day, essentially? Like, you know, what can you share with us that helps you? And by that, I mean, like, do you outsource when it comes to help, right? Like, do you have any of a cleaning business? Like, I have someone clean my house once every 2 weeks, because not only is it good for my mental health, but I just know like I don't have time to do it. So like that's like my little outsourcing trick, and I invest in it. I'm like, listen, I won't get my nails done, as you can tell, but my house will be clean. Like, you know, I make it work. So what are because you are extremely busy and you do have a 3-year-old and running businesses and you're married. So I know there's a lot on your plate. So what kind of tips can you give us, or what outsourcing do you do that helps you kind of stay sane?
So it depends, because with my income tax business, with being a loan officer and real estate agent, I do have an assistant. She works part-time. Most times she works from home. She answers emails. She answers phone calls. If there's anything she needs from me, she lets me know. She schedules my appointments. I always love that I come to the office, I look at my calendar, and I know what I have to do, because she's the boss of me. So I learned how to just let it go when it comes to that aspect. With cleaning service, it's the same thing. She actually helps me with the cleaning service as well. I do have ladies working for me. I do try to have systems in place where I don't have to be as active as people might think. I have a system for the cleaning service where our houses are already in a system with appointments. My cleaners have an access to the app, so they know their appointments. They know the prices that are charged. They have the addresses, time, and whatever when they have to be there. And it only changes, and I have to message them if a client changes or cancels last minute. So it's more like automated system, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Another thing, I mean, I do not clean my house. I rather go for a walk with my daughter if I have time. Yeah. So the funny thing is, and if you would ask my husband, so I own a cleaning service, but I actually have my mom's friend has been coming to us for like 4 years now, cleaning every other Saturday, because I'm so busy with the clean. We have so many houses, so the ladies don't have time to come to me. So I actually pay someone else instead of having to pay the ladies. And then once in a while, we have a cancellation and I want them to have extra hours, I'll put myself in there. So sometimes we have a cleaning every 2 weeks, and sometimes we have a cleaning like every 5 days, right? It all depends on the schedule that we have. But that's basically what I do. And then relationships. I have the assistant for mortgages. I have a loan processor who processes my loans. So she uploads everything to the bank, right? I do talk to clients because I love talking to clients. I do prepare the documents for her, and then she takes care of everything else. If there's something she needs, she lets me know, right? So that's basically what it is. With real estate, most of the time, it's me who goes to showings. And then if I'm stuck at a closing, I do have agents from my office that I can ask if someone can go show a house for my client, and they will happily do it.
I love it. Okay, so you have yourself like a team in all parts.
Yes.
In all the business. Okay. But see, you need it to be sane. Like, you absolutely need it. Yeah. Yes. No, I completely agree. you gotta outsource, you gotta do that. So now your daughter is 3. So is it a little bit easier now too? Because does she go to school at least, or she kind of
yeah. So she's been going to daycare for the past year, 3 days a week. She goes on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And the only reason I didn't do full week because Babcha, my husband's mom, she wants to watch her too. So, so at least, everyone is happy,
It's the best. I would say the best of both worlds. Like she gets to go to school because, like you said, and she started a year ago, so same age as my daughter. Where like I think it's also really important. Like again, do what you want, moms. Not saying, but I'm just from our experience, I feel like it's the same. I like that our daughters, like at the younger age, kind of got to experience like the school and like you said, 3 days a week. Like you know what I mean? No one's making you go like all the time, all day.
No.
It's like that little taste of it, and cute. Like they have their friends and they have their teachers and they love it. It's so
They
cute.
love it. They have other friends, especially if it's an only child. I feel like that helps a lot too. Yeah.
Yes, 100% agree. That I feel like, and also it saved my sanity. But I feel like my daughter, like she just like talks about school all the time, and it makes me as a mom feel good. Like okay, I'm making a good choice.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So it makes me so happy.
Yeah,
I love
you
it.
have to do it. You have to do it.
I love it. Are there any particular things that you're teaching your daughter? Like, I know she's so young right now, but are you sort of like starting to instill certain maybe habits in her, or just like certain mindsets when it comes to like, because they're so little, but I also want like my daughter to kind of understand, well, like, where money comes from. It doesn't just fall out of the sky, and I want my daughter to like understand like savings and money and working and all that, even though she's little. But are you kind of instilling certain things in your daughter at this age?
I am. You know what? And it was actually from the beginning. My in-laws were always laughing. I always said I hated toys. And I don't mean it in a bad way. But I think there's too many toys around the house, right? Because I also feel like kids don't need that many as we have nowadays for girls and boys. So one thing that she knows is I'm not going to buy you everything. We go to a store. From the young age, she learned I can actually go to the store, and I'm so proud of it. And we'll go to buy other stuff like grocery shopping or clothes or anything else. And she will not expect me to buy her a toy. She just doesn't understand that. I mean, she understands that going to a store doesn't mean she's getting a toy, which I love.
Yes, you got to teach me, because I'm not gonna lie, I messed that one up. I messed up. I just like, I know I'm like that parent, and I know it's my own thing. I want to be a little more like strict with her. It's hard because I'm just not even strict with myself. But that is a dream, to be able to walk past the toy aisle and her to know, like, you know what I mean? I know they say it's never too late, but like sometimes I just,
Why?
That's one thing that I wish I did. So I love that you did that. Honestly, like that's so smart. I give you props. It's hard. As a mom, it's hard.
It's hard. 100% it's hard. But then, you know what? It gets easier. So I don't have that issue with her. And same with sharing. As an only child, you have to teach them to share, right?
That's a big one.
Hey, if I tell you to do something, you got to do something. But so many times she wanted to have candy at night, and I said no. And she's a toddler, right? So she'll lay on the floor, cry. Maybe I shouldn't say it out loud, but I would just let her cry. It will not work on me, even though I was breaking inside, right? But I would just sit on the couch and be like, once you're done, come to me. And then she would just look up, and I'll be like, do you want a hug? I would give her a hug, say, it's okay, I understand you're upset, but you're still not getting it. We're going to sleep. You'll get one tomorrow after you eat breakfast. And after a while, she understood it. She still has days when she's like, I want a lollipop. And I'm like, no. And then, it's back and forth. But majority of the time it works. And I also want her to keep trying on everything that she does. She'll come to me and she'll be like, help me, Layla cannot do it. And I'm like, yeah, Lulu can do it. You just do it like this. And then she does it, and she's so proud of herself. And then I tell her, like, you see, I'm proud of you. So I keep pushing her to do it herself as much. But I think it's also because my dad taught me that. So I think that's kind of where I got it from.
Oh, that is so sweet. I'm going to take that advice. I feel like I don't really give her, I feel like for my daughter, I don't give her enough of like the positive like reinforcement, or like the, oh, you did do it, I think because like, I don't know, I hate this about me. I'm so go, that sometimes I'm like, I'll just do it. Let's go. Hold on.
It's so much faster if you do it yourself. With me, it was easier because we go to daycare. We leave the house at 8:30, but keep in mind, she wakes up at 5. So she's got 3 hours to figure it out, and I don't have to rush her, right? So I think that's why it was easier on me, because if I would have to be out of the house by 6 and she wakes up at 5:30, I would probably do the same thing, where I would be like, okay, let me put the shoes on. You don't have to try to do it right now. So I think that it kind of makes it much more easier on me when it comes to that.
Yeah, I can totally see that. I think that's great advice. Yeah, as simple as that might sound, like it will make the biggest difference in the future. So I love it. Paulina, thank you for being here with us today. I want you to name all the businesses. Where can we follow you if you have social media that we can go and check you out on? But also, where can we go check out if anybody wants to like work with you, right? Whether it's the cleaning business, they want to hire someone, or if you're taking clients, and then also the income tax, everything. Where can we find you?
So for the income taxes, it's Maram Company, MARAM Company. We're based out of Lamont. I can send you all the links for cleaning service. It's Deluxe Maids of Illinois. But I also would love you to follow us on my foundation, Hearts of Hope Damian Baran Foundation. That's where we raise money for children who are sick, battling cancer, same with adults. So this is like one of my major things. When I talk about my businesses, yes, it's great. And I love new people to come to me with their businesses for mortgages, real estate, income taxes, 100%, but also for the foundation, because that's something that means a lot to me. So
absolutely. Oh, well, thank you, Paulina. We appreciate you being here today.
Thank you so much. It was great meeting you, Paulina.
So nice to meet you. Thank you, Paulina.